Shalom Meheretz Yisrael. Peace from the land of Jerusalem. This is your professor, Dr. Greg Stevens, and I'm your instructor for OT 5503, Biblical Hebrew 1. You can find my contact information in the Your Instructor section of the course shell, and I've also have my personal profile in the class introduction forum in the community post section of the course shell. Please introduce yourself by posting your profile there in the class introduction forum in the community post section as well. And then get to know myself and your fellow classmates by reading and responding to each other's posts. And now let me officially welcome you to OT 5503 Biblical Hebrew 1, the 14-week online September 2016 course at Moody Theological Seminary online. I hope this message finds you well as we prepare to begin our course together next week. I know many of you may be eager to get a jump on things, and I'm also aware that there are probably a good number of you who won't see this message until this coming week. Either way, that's totally fine. If you are of the early bird gets the worm type, then feel free to start exploring our Blackboard portal a bit. If, on the other hand, you are the early bird gets eaten sort, then do take some time to look around a bit as early as possible once you log in. Now, before I talk about this week's assignment, let me just talk about learning Hebrew in general. You'll notice this is a 14-week course, not a 7-week course, as are most of our online seminary courses. Clearly, that's a signal. This will be a more challenging course in all likelihood. Now, there are two things that will make you successful in this course. Number one is self-discipline. Any successful online student is by definition, in my mind, a self-disciplined person. But secondly, to be successful learning a language, there needs to be lots of repetition. So let me encourage you that you plan in your schedule to be working on your Hebrew 5-6 days a week. That's right, 5 or 6 days a week. Better to work, say, an hour or two a day than to leave it till the end of the week. If you try to cram in learning a language, it will not work. So plan to be treating this course like you would a residential course, as if you had a couple days a week separated by at least a day where you're going to class. And then on all the other days, you're chipping away at your studies, at your homework, at your vocabulary memorization, at reviewing the work. If you'll do that, if you'll be self-disciplined, and if you'll be repetitious in your study through each week, you should do well in learning Hebrew. And imagine you're learning Hebrew. You're going to be able to read the Word of God, the Bible, the greater part of the Bible, 4/5 of the Bible, in its original language once you've learned Hebrew. So gear up, and we're ready to go as you begin learning the biblical language of Hebrew. This week's lesson, you're going to be focusing on learning the alphabet and the vowels. Our objectives for you are 5 this week. By the end of this week, you should be able to reproduce the 23 consonants of the Hebrew alphabet in order both in writing and vocally from memory. You should be able to recognize unique features of several of the letters, the final form letters, the Begad Kafat letters, the gutturals, etc. You should be able to reproduce the vowel markings and differentiate between them and short vowels. You should be able to understand the form and function of vowel letters. And lastly, you should be able to understand the form and function of the Dagesh Forte. As far as your study requirements this week, in your books, you're going to be reading in Pradigal and Van Pelt, Basic of Biblical Hebrew Grammar, chapters 1 and 2. You're going to be watching the video lectures for lessons 1 and 2. And then you're going to memorize the Hebrew alphabet and vowels from page 1 and 15 in the grammar. Your assignments are 3. First, pronunciation. Record yourself reciting the Hebrew alphabet. Assignment 2 is quiz 1. And assignment 3 is your workbook exercises for chapters 1 and 2. Now, there are some supplemental activities. These activities are not required, but they are highly recommended. Post and discuss the week with your peers in the community post discussion forum. view the presentation covering lessons 1 and 2, view the Hebrew alphabet song presentation, just that would be a bit fun, and complete the Hebrew alphabet and vowels practice quiz. I mentioned the class introductions before, but this is required. So introduce yourself to the rest of the online class in the Community Post discussion section of the Blackboard course by clicking on Class Introductions when you get there. You may provide as much information as you like. And if you have a Facebook page, a blog, or a website, feel free to share them with the rest of the class as well. The link to my personal website is in my profile. Each week's folder is going to give you, as this week did, the lesson objectives, the reading and viewing and listening to be done, any assignments in the workbook, pronunciation, supplemental opportunities, quizzes, etc., and a note about any discussion for the week or other needed, relevant, and extra information. My counsel to you is to look around the course shell and read over the course syllabus and course schedule. Get acquainted with all three of these items as thoroughly as you are able. Do not, however, access any quizzes or exams until it is appropriate to do so. That is, when you're ready to take them. And finally, constantly compare the course schedule and course shell information to be sure that you are completing all assigned work as directed. And do pay close attention to any new announcements or emails each week as well. A couple of points of clarification for you. First, the MTS academic week actually runs from 12:01 a.m. Tuesday morning Central Time to 11:59 p.m. Central Time of the following Monday night. This gives you the full weekend in each week to work on your papers, quizzes, exams, etc. But remember that your workbook assignments are due by noon on Saturday of each week, per the syllabus. When it comes to discussion boards, and you don't have any required discussion boards until about halfway through the course, but again, watch your weekly folders for this. But when it comes to discussion boards, it is best to post early in the academic week so that others have time to respond to your posts. So be sure to make your initial discussion board post no later than 11:59 p.m. Central Time on Friday, so that others and you can reply and comment to each other's posts by 11:59 Central Time the following Monday. There are not discussion groups per se in this course, so you're good to go. And the first week, there is no required discussion board topic. But again, why not get in and in the discussion board discuss with one another the first week's work? Finally, the late policy. All assignments are due as indicated in the course syllabus, course schedule, weekly folders, and course announcements, all of which are in sync. Late work submitted is penalized 5% per day or part thereof, up to a limit of 7 days for a total of 35% penalty. No work is accepted beyond 7 days after its due date, and no credit will be granted for any late discussion board postings. Discussion boards must be done on time. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. You have my Moody email here, gstevens@moody.edu, and notice that Stevens is spelled with a PH. And again, welcome to OT 5503 Biblical Hebrew 1, the 14-week online course beginning in September of 2016 through Moody Theological Seminary. And by the way, I spent fall of 14 from August 26th through December 12th in Israel. And I am there, here in Israel again, from August 25 to November 25 of this year, teaching the entirety of this course from here. So again, Shalom Eretz Yisrael. Well, God bless you as you do your work this week. Any questions, feel free to contact me. Oh, by the way, if you need to contact me in person, that is, if an email won't suffice and there's something really time sensitive, you can contact me while I'm in Israel using my Skype address, which is listed below, GregorioX. Or if you have Apple products, you can contact me by FaceTime using my personal email, gregoriox@juno.com. Again, if you look below my name, you'll find those listed there, my contact information. Again, God bless.